Students of standard 6, last time we started reading about the ancient Indus Valley civilization in India. Okay, and the first part of the lesson we read about was the names of a few places which were there in the Indus Valley civilization. Two important places were Mohenjo-daro and Harappa that are now in Pakistan. Some of the places in India we read about were Lothal, Dholavira, Kalibangan, all these places. Okay, and we also saw that they had an excellent system of town planning. The way they planned their town thousands of years back was a very interesting thing. Now today we are going to read about the houses. Okay, we read that they constructed their houses on a high platform to protect it from flood, to protect it from dampness, that is wetness. Okay, now today we are going to read about the roads. Now see, there were two highways that are found. See, during excavation, what did the archaeologists find? That there could have been two highways. One that went from north to south and the other from east to west. So there were two main highways. Okay. Streets were parallel to the main road. Now see, besides that, if there is a main road, the smaller streets would be parallel to it. Okay. Now see, if there are smaller streets which have to intersect the main road, it would be always at a right angle like this. So this did what? This divided the whole town into squares and rectangles, because one street would intersect the other only at a right angle. Like this, only at a right angle. So what happened? The whole town was divided into squares and rectangles. Roads intersected each other at right angles. The whole town was thus divided into square and rectangular sections. Because see, the streets were never like the one street is like this, the other like this. No. They would join each other only at right angles. Okay, and one more interesting thing that was found is they had a system of street light at night, like we have it today. So over here I am reading from page number 12. I am reading what is written below that picture. Okay, the public bath. Streets. Okay, I am reading two lines above that picture. The roads were comfortable. There were two highways in the city, one of which connected north with south and the other from east to west. There were two highways. Here streets were parallel to the main road. So streets and the main road, they would go parallel and then they would intersect each other at right angles. Roads and streets were organized in such a manner that the whole town could be divided into squares and rectangular sections. Evidence of night light system has also been found on the public roads. So this was one thing about the roads. So the way they made the roads, it showed that they planned it well before making it. Now the next interesting thing that we find in the Indus Valley civilization was the drainage system. Means the gutter system. The dirty water from the house, they made such an arrangement that the dirty water from the house would flow out of the town. So that was their drainage system. Now see, any particular house would be connected to a small sewer pipe. Okay. Then the small one would be connected to a large sewer pipe. And from that large one, it would go out of the town. So in this way, the dirty water from the town, from the house would be led out of the town. So see, this is also an interesting thing. You know, this type of drainage system is not found anywhere else throughout the world during that time. So from the houses, the dirty water would flow into small sewers. From the small, it would flow into large sewers and then out of the town. Now see, there was a systematic arrangement for the disposal of dirty water. Dispose means you don't need it, so you throw it away. That is called disposal. Okay. So there was a systematic arrangement. The dirty water from the house flowed into small sewer, then into large sewer, and then out of the town. So this is how the dirty water was led out of the town. Now I am reading the paragraph further. There was a highly developed and systematic system for disposal of dirty water. The water from each house flowed into smaller sewer and from smaller sewer to the larger sewer. Water from the large sewer flowed out of the city or the town. Okay, so that was about the disposal of dirty water. Now see, this showed that they were also careful about their health and hygiene, because this systematic arrangement led to disposing the dirty water out of the town. So people would not fall ill, they would not be spread of germs and all that. So this shows that they were careful about their health and hygiene. The next thing that has been found in Mohenjo-daro is a public bath. Okay, public bath, you can understand that it must be like a very big swimming pool. What else have they shown is, say if there is a pond like thing, there were steps leading to it. So there were steps that led to the pond, and around the pond there were changing rooms. Okay, so these are the things you will remember. See, they have found a very big pond. Now for going to that pond, there were steps which would take a person to the pond, and all around that place were changing rooms. So it showed that, see, these people, okay, on religious occasions or on festivals, they would be getting together over there. Like you have the modern day swimming pools. Like when you visit any swimming pool, what do you see over there? There is a big place where there is a lot of water filled over there, a big tank like thing. Okay, and then they also have the changing rooms around it. So even so many thousands of years back, people had that arrangement. Okay, a public bath has been found in Mohenjo-daro. In the center is a pond for bathing. There are steps that lead to the pond. Then there are steps which would lead to the pond. There were changing rooms around the pond. This public bath must have been used on festivals and religious occasions. So I am reading the paragraph further. A public bath has been found in Mohenjo-daro. In the center of the public bath is a pond for bathing. There are steps arranged on both the sides to get into the pond. There are changing rooms around the pond. The public bath would have been used on festivals and religious occasions. Okay, and moreover, in addition to this, pillared houses used as assembly halls have also been found. Big halls have also been found. So maybe those are assembly halls, means for some purpose people would be gathering over there for some discussion or for some purpose. Harappa is an archaeological site located in the Montgomery district of Punjab. This part of Punjab is in Pakistan. Okay, this is not a part of Punjab, that is in India. Harappa must have been the main town of the Indus Valley civilization, and that is why in the beginning we read, you either call it Indus Valley civilization or we call it the Harappan civilization, because Harappa was the main town. The main feature of Harappa is a granary. About 12 grain stores have been found on the banks of the river Ravi. Now see, granary means that's a place where they store the grains. When in agriculture they have excess production, ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा उगाते हैं, तो वो ज़्यादा क्या करना पड़ेगा, उसको अच्छी तरह स्टोर करना पड़ेगा. तो स्टोर करने के लिए वो लोग कहाँ पे उसको स्टोर करेंगे? There are big places, those are called granaries. In those granaries they would store their food grain properly till it is used. So such a type of granary is also found. Okay, 12 grain stores have been found on the banks of the river Ravi. Okay, now we will study about the important towns of the Indus Valley civilization. Like we studied about Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Over here there is a little information about Lothal. Lothal is a place in Ahmedabad in Gujarat. Okay, Lothal, it is situated on the banks of river Bhogao in Dholka Taluka of Ahmedabad district. It was a commercial port and an industrial town. Now see, during the Indus Valley civilization, this was a commercial port, means ships used to come from other countries to this place, and from India ships used to go to the other countries. So they used to do international trade from this port that was Lothal. But now if you see Lothal, it's not a port now. Now if you go to Lothal, there is no sea nearby. Okay, so today it is not a port, but during the Indus Valley civilization, Lothal was an important port. A structure made of bricks has been found. Now see, it must be a dockyard. Dockyard is a place where the ships can come, like a port, okay, where the ships can come. Then you know there are warehouses over there. Warehouses mean big rooms where they can store the goods. So when a ship comes and they unload means ship में से सामान बाहर निकालते, that is called to unload the ship. Ship में सामान भरते, that is called loading the ship. So when they unload, they have to store those goods at a certain place. So they had a place, a warehouse like thing. Okay, godown बनाने पड़ते, those are called warehouses. Then from there, from Lothal, the goods used to be carried to other countries. So ships must be arriving here for loading and unloading goods. Okay, so सामान भरते थे ships के अंदर, that is loading. बाहर के कंट्री से सामान लाते थे और इधर उतारते थे सामान, so that is called unloading. Warehouses and bead factory have also been found. So warehouses for what purpose? Warehouses mean godowns for storing the goods. Okay, so that is about Lothal. Now I am reading the last paragraph on page number 12. Lothal is situated on the banks of Bhogava river in Dholka taluka in Ahmedabad district. Lothal was a commercial port and an industrial town in ancient times. A structure of bricks has been found here. It is considered that it must have been a dockyard. It is assumed that vessels over here means ships, arriving here were used for loading and unloading goods. In addition, warehouses and beads factory have also been found. Beads mean moti bana, that is called, those are called beads, have also been found. So it can be said that Lothal was a prosperous port of ancient India, and international trade of Harappan civilization was done through Lothal. So international trade was done through this place, Lothal. Means they used to send goods to other countries or bring goods from other countries from this port that was called Lothal. Now on page number 13, they have given you a little description about Dholavira. Dholavira is in Kutch. Dholavira is an archaeological site in the Khadir-Bhet area in Bhajau taluka in Kutch. Now see, earlier we read that during the Indus Valley civilization, the towns were divided into two parts. You know, in the last video we studied that one part was where the ruler lived, and then there was a highway, and the next part was where the common people lived. But Dholavira was a town that was divided into three parts: Citadel, that is the fort, the upper town and the lower town. Moreover, they used the method of rainwater harvesting for agriculture. You know, places which are dry or places which do not receive a lot of rainfall, they have to use this method. Rainwater harvesting means when it rains, they can store that water and then they can later on they can use it. बारिश बंद हो जाएगी, जब पानी नहीं होगा तो वो जो बारिश का पानी कलेक्ट किया है वो यूज कर सकते. Now see, I am reading page number 13. Dholavira is an archaeological site located in the Khadir-Bhet area in Bhajau taluka in Kutch. Generally, Harappan towns were divided into two parts. And what is the word written? Bilateral, means they were divided into two parts. While the town of Dholavira was divided into three parts, that is called trilateral. One is the citadel, that is the fort, then the upper town and the lower town. The main speciality of Dholavira was the rainwater harvesting system. And the stadium. Next is Kalibangan. Kalibangan, I explained it to you in the beginning of the lesson. It is in Rajasthan. Kalibangan town of Rajasthan was the headquarter of the agricultural revolution of the Harappan civilization. So, a lot of changes that were brought about in agriculture during that time happened from Kalibangan. And over here they have found copper tools which were made over there and used for agriculture. So see, earlier what did we study? They used the stone tools for agriculture. Okay, but now they have started making copper tools for agriculture. Copper residues have been found here, proves that copper tools must have been used here, manufactured, and the tools must be used for agriculture. Residue means remains. See, when they find things from inside the ground, they don't find a complete thing. Say, अगर ज़मीन में से कोई बहुत हजारों साल पुरानी चीज़ मिलती है तो ज़रूरी नहीं वो पूरी ही मिलेगी, टूट गई होगी या ऐसा होगा, तो that is called a residue. Okay, so those remains. Then you know what do archaeologists do? They find out such pieces They arrange it properly and then they try to find out what that whole thing must be. Okay. So this is about the important towns of the Indus Valley civilization. Thus the town planning of the Indus Valley civilization was well organized, well engineered, well planned and efficient. इन सब टाउन्स के बारे में पढ़ के हमको एक चीज तो पता चलती है कि उन लोगों ने अपने टाउन्स बहुत अच्छी तरह प्लान किए थे, बहुत अच्छी तरह सिस्टमैटिकली बनाए थे. सी इवन थाउजेंड्स ऑफ इयर्स बैक they were careful about how they have to plan their town. It is a wonderful reflection of the governing power of the ruling elite. Okay, means the rulers must be so wise that they use such things. The intelligence of the engineer, they must have intelligent engineers at that time, and the craftsmanship of the craftsmen, and the people who made the town, means they planned it very well and they made proper towns. Okay, you'll write whatever points I write on the board, students. You'll copy all those points in your notebook gradually, so that at the end of the lesson, when you have to write the question answers, you already have the points with you. Your work will become very easy. So whenever you have any particular video of social science, see that whatever I write on the board, see that you copy it in your notebook from lesson number 1. Okay. Lesson number 1, lesson number 2, lesson number 3, whatever. I had informed it to you earlier also. Again I am reminding it that for each and every lesson, whenever you see a particular video, see that you copy the main points in your notebook.